Congratulations, you found us. I'm going to talk to you about fat loss for men. Let me start with this quick little story. In the late 1980s, I drew the short straw and had to go listen to a salesman do some sales pitch about a product his company wanted to sell my military unit. I was part of a U.S. Navy diving unit that specialized in underwater bombs and demolition. This would happen every few months, and all of us guys hated it. Somebody was always trying to sell us something. I was to meet this salesman at a small theater on base. This picture is just something I found on the internet to give you a visual as I remember it. I arrived early, sat on the second row from the stage. I threw my feet over the back of the chairs in front of me, pulled my hat down on my nose to catch a few minutes of shut-eye. I wasn't really asleep. We called it a combat nap. Suddenly I heard the racking of a .45 caliber Colt handgun. I jerked my hat up and tried to lift my feet up and over the chairs I had them hanging over, but my feet had gone numb. A man standing on the stage turned the Colt towards his chest and fired at point-blank range. He fell backwards and the Colt bounced on the wooden floor. I started to move towards the weapon. That's the only thing in the room capable of killing me. But my feet weren't working. For the life of me, I could not connect the dots as to what was going on and why this guy just shot himself. I partly thought I was in a nightmare where nothing makes sense. Except for the ringing in my ears, the smell of gunpowder, the pounding in my chest, and the numbness in my legs that kept insisting it was really happening. Then he moved, then stood up. This was getting more bizarre by the second. He picked up and holstered the Colt and walked over to the edge of the stage where I was crouched down. He reached his right hand out, like he wanted to shake mine. I hesitantly reached up and grasped his hand, still feeling a bit uncertain about shaking the hand of a man who should be dead. He introduced himself. "Hi, my name is Greg, and I'd like to talk to you about bulletproof vests." I learned two things that day. Number one, he believes in his product. Number two, not all sales guys are bad. What he sold me did save my butt and a lot of my team. By the end of this video, I hope you learn the same two things about me. My intention here is to help you. I know that most guys are tough and often feel they don't need any help losing unwanted fat. But just like the story, sometimes our arrogance or disdain for someone selling something can block us from getting the help we obviously need. Look down at your belly. Is there extra fat there? If so, I can help. I respectfully request your full attention. Your text, Skype, and email will still be there when I'm done. I spent 2 years preparing what I'm sharing with you. Let me start with a quick question to you. What is it that you truly want your body to look like? This is not a rhetorical question. A man is as alive as he can picture a better future. He is as dead as he can't picture a better future. Make sense? How much fat do you need to lose? Would you be fine wearing a size 44? Do you want to wear a size 32? Is it a flat stomach you want? Or are you after six-pack abs? Perhaps this isn't the first time you've tried to lose weight. How long have you struggled with your weight? How many times per week or day do you think about it? It's okay to admit it. Why hasn't it happened for you? Perhaps it has happened for you in the past. Why couldn't you stick to it? Why didn't the results last? Perhaps you've bought books or programs before that didn't live up to what you thought they would. Or those things you did in the past stopped working. I'm not invalidating you or trying to make you feel uncomfortable. I am more compassionate for you and your situation than you can imagine. I'm genuinely here to help you. During this video, I'll show you how to get your body to start burning fat without exercising or starving, and how I shocked and awed the weight loss industry with 3 stunning discoveries. Discovery number 1, every food, not calorie, triggers your body to either store fat or use stored fat, which is burning fat. Discovery number 2, craving food is every man's nemesis and will destroy your efforts to lose belly fat if not corrected. Discovery number 3, exercising to burn anything other than the last 10 pounds is a big fat lie and dangerous to your health. My name is Tim, this is my wife Laura and my youngest son Tristan. We live on a river farm in the mountains of Utah. We moved here for the peaceful life and the clean drinking water. As you can see, Tristan loves Spider-Man and I love my family and my country. Just 3 years ago, I fell into a trap and added too much fat and had a heck of a time finding a permanent solution. When I finally got it mapped out and implemented, I dumped fat very fast. I'm a busy executive and didn't ever see myself sharing it with others. One of my close friends saw me go from chubby to lean, asked me what I did. I told him. I then started getting text messages while he was at the grocery store or restaurant. Can I eat so-and-so? He too dropped a bunch of weight fast. I then got text messages from his friend asking for my help. Pretty soon, I had a small tribe of guys I was walking through how to lose fat and had little time for anything else. The problem with me is when I know I can help, especially when losing fat seems nearly impossible and a constant struggle for so many men. I have to help. Are you like that? You see someone struggling at something that you know how to do, and you feel obliged to help them because it's the right thing to do? I finally decided to write this up and help my fellow man, partly so that I would stop getting text messages and phone calls night and day, but the real reason is to help men. Let me share with you where this started. My wife said, "Babe, if they don't button, they don't fit. Let's try a 36. Boom, 9mm point blank range shot right in the forehead. That's what my wife said to me in the tiny dressing room of this Lucky Brand jean store in Salt Lake City. You see, I had already increased my pant size from a 31 to a 34. She wasn't trying to shoot me in the head, but she did. Can I get a nod that the woman you love the most can say some simple thing and it feels like she shot you in the head? My wife left the dressing room and I broke. If you knew what I did in the military, you'd know how ridiculous it was that I broke about anything. My wife's comment made me realize that my fat was a runaway train and I couldn't stop it. Before, I would just exercise my way back. Now, I couldn't get the same results that I used to get. And, speaking honestly, I wouldn't stay on any program for more than a week or two, diet or exercise. I would say I was going to eat better, then wouldn't. I wondered if this was just a part of aging. You ever wonder that? Regardless, I was on a bullet train traveling at 300 miles an hour heading straight down a very slippery slope. In less than a year, I had gone from a size 31-inch waist to a 36. That's 5 inches. You may have less or more weight to lose. The number doesn't matter. Keep watching and I'll tell you why. I ballooned up to over 212 pounds. I didn't need to be good in math to know the answer to what would year 2 yield, 41-inch waist. What would year 3 yield, 46-inch waist. In the short few minutes my wife was looking for larger pants, I realized I had become a, don't say it, a mama's boy. There's nothing worse in the military special forces than being labeled a mama's boy. Let me say that correctly, as the guys said it in the military. Big mamish boy, come here, son. Don't let those big bullies pick on you. Let mama make you a triple-decker peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Do you want grape jelly or do you want some Schmucker's strawberry jam? What made me break was thinking, what woman wants to be with a mama's boy? The boy's mama, not my wife. I'm not talking as much about my fat as I am my mental frame of mind. For me, being fat is proof of mental weakness, mental procrastination, mental lack of confront. It's a weakness in the mind that would allow gluttony to go on and get worse and worse. I hadn't always been fat. Here's how I went from elite to mama's boy. Then I'll show you how I reverse engineered the process to go from fat to elite again.